I could see the Emperor's face right now.
Before you guys got here, we were talking about the different press conferences. We were trying to pick, like, what was the winner? You know, like, what, out of these things, what was, like, the creme de la creme of the press conference? Sony, there were, like, 5. You know, it was like, well, it's one of these 5. We're not sure exactly what it is. And we're going through, and we're just like, okay, Electronic Arts. Oh, but Battlefront. Duh. I see Star Wars on this list. I'm assuming it's not the Old Republic expansion pack.
Definitely not.
That we're talking about Star Wars Battlefront right now.
Yes.
I'm not saying the Old Republic isn't great. I'm not saying that expansion pack is going to bring a lot of resources that desperately needed to that MMO.
That's what you said.
But come on, folks.
So tell me this isn't a dream scenario. I don't know if the viewers remember Chris Wynn. But lo and behold, right when I'm going to do all of my Star Wars Battlefront stuff, who joins my party? Chris Wynn. We did all of it together.
That's so great.
It was the best.
Really cool.
Did that positively affect your perception of this game?
Oh,
Did that skew you? And I
bounced my hype right off Chris Wynn, and he bounced it right back. Oh, yeah.
So right now we're checking out survival mode. We got this amazing trailer during the Sony press conference where we got to see Hoth in all of its glory. We got to control different vehicles. We got in X-Wings. We got in TIE Fighters. We got on and at, you know, like bomb and stuff. And we saw Vader pop out at the end. What mode did you play? What did you do? I want all of it.
Okay. 2 modes. Did the Horde mode. Co-op, local split screen. That was the behind closed doors.
Just 2 players.
Hands-on, yeah. That was 2 players.
That was you and Chris Wynn?
So Chris Wynn wasn't able to play at that.
Oh, okay.
part.
Got it.
But he was there. He was like, these aren't PS4s. There's no way. They're Titans under here. There's no way. Because this game split screen is running and looks perfect.
Wow.
Perfectly. Not a hiccup, not a hitch, no glitches. It looked fantastic. So you can switch between third and first person. I think all that stuff's been stressed, but it was really intense. The stormtroopers just flood in from each side. There were 6 waves. I think he said there's going to be 16 waves in the final build. It was a struggle. Wave 5 and 6 we were nervous. Like when we beat it, the guy next to me, we didn't say a word the entire time. But when we beat that wave 6, vocal high five. It's like, yes!
Vocal.
Yeah, it was vocal. It played really well. You have your jetpack is tied to R1. It's on a cooldown.
Meaning everybody gets this jetpack. Doesn't matter what class you have.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we both had it. So I'm pretty sure everyone had the jetpack. I was a little confused on the abilities. You have a Destiny style shield that you could use. There are battle pickups throughout the map that you can go. Each time you use your shield, you can recharge it.
I've seen that used against an airstrike. The green lasers from the sky.
So that one is your super move.
Oh, okay.
Which again is like Destiny. That you push down L1, R1, and that comes up. Holding triangle. See that one right there?
Yeah.
That one's like an offensive one. There's another one that's like a shield that comes over you, and you can't be hit.
And that's OP.
It was really strong because the stormtroopers have it.
Oh.
And oh my god, they take hits. You're just unloading on these things a million times. Shield does not go down. There were times when they would just keep advancing on me with their shields, and I'm just shooting wildly. Like, what do I do? Dead. You get lives depending on how well you clear a wave.
Are those the hearts we see?
Yeah. If you die, you can come back by using a heart, or you can wait for your partner to try to finish the round.
Yeah.
So it's, risk versus reward.
I got this, buddy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ATSTs are a force to be reckoned with when they come. They destroy everyone. You definitely want to get a battle pickup. You want to get a rocket. But yeah, it was pretty standard horde mode. There was a pod that it just showed right there. You have to, certain waves will have you defend a point, which I thought was really cool. It wasn't just like, okay, survive the rounds. There's an objective, which really mixed it up. It forced you to go to a different place. We failed the objective one time. We didn't defend. We got overrun, but nothing really happened. So, and then I asked him.
Maybe just optional.
I didn't know, yeah.
Like maybe you can get a bonus.
Maybe it took a life. I just didn't notice. That'd be really cool. If you failed that objective, that you would just lose a life.
Does anything cool happen on that final round?
Nothing cool because it was only wave 6, and they said there was going to be 15 or 16 total.
Oh, so the cool thing will happen on that 16th
Yeah.
wave.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was standard.
But one of two
But
modes.
really fun.
What was the other mode?
The real deal. The 40-man Hoth.
40.
Oh man.
40-man Hoth battle, Jones.
40 people alive
I'm
at E3
so
Yes!
playing this
jealous
game.
that you got to
Yes!
play this.
Cool.
It's there on the
So
floor.
is this a
You can
40-person
play.
appointment, or did you go? Was this at the booth?
This
And
is
just,
there.
Like, people are in line.
This
coming
is
in
there in
and
line.
they-
Yes,
Okay.
this is there.
All right. Which
It
side are
is-
you on?
We were rebels.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wanted to be. Wanted to be
Right.
Yo, that stormtrooper armor in the snow, camouflage.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. So, played a lot of Battlefield in my day. This has given me a Battlefield vibe, but a little more focus. So I love playing Battlefield 64 player. That's the only way I like to play it. 64 large conquest. There are moments in Battlefield when sometimes the map is too big. You're kind of off away from everything. You got to get back to the fight.
Yep.
And then there are moments that are the complete opposite when there are just too many people. Now it's like Call of Duty. You spawn, you die. You spawn. There's just chaos everywhere. This felt so perfectly balanced with the size and the scale and the amount of players at any given time.
How is the size determined? Did you find yourself like, I'm gonna run over this cliff? Whoop! There's the end of the map. I didn't see that coming. Like, was there any of that, or was it really clear? Like,
It was clear,
Okay,
yeah.
I know where I need to go, and if I go that way, what's the point? You know, I should stay focused on where I need.
Yeah,
to
it
be
was
in the
clear. So you
battlefield.
have your objectives. Have the objectives been talked about at all?
Kind of. I've seen terminals. Like I
Okay,
saw the
yeah.
Endor mission. There were definitely objectives in that. Like
Oh
you had to
my
call in
So
the
we're
Y
going up to
wings.
this satellite dish over
Okay,
here.
here's
yeah.
where the hype begins.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where I actually kind of liked being Rebels. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm glad I was. So these AT-ATs are pushing forward constantly. They're just you don't want to be anywhere near these things. They're just relentlessly shooting down anyone in their path. Now they have a health meter, both of them, 100%, and that's constantly ticking down through the course of the map. The Imperial's objective is to get those AT-ATs all the way to a certain place to blow up the power
That
core or
weird
whatever.
generator.
Shield generator.
In
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
The rebels can have to go to certain points on the map, like uplinks.
Mm-hmm.
You control those uplinks, and those summon Y-wings that do additional damage to the AT-ATs. And there are other objectives, like an EMP blast that makes the AT-ATs vulnerable. So when they're vulnerable, they're susceptible to rockets and any kind of machine gun fire. So
Cool.
everyone just starts shooting those. Now the battle pickup on the map, there's an X-Wing and a speeder. You pick up the battle pickup.
Yeah.
You hold down R1, you do a little cooldown. You are now inside the X-Wing
this.
or the land speeder like
we are.
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, the guy was standing right there. I was freaking out. I was like, tow cables. How do I bring this thing down?
Yeah.
He's like, it's got to be vulnerable. Wait for it. So I'm just strafing back and forth. I see ATSTs. I'm picking them off because I know, land speeder versus ATST, you're done.
Yeah.
So I'm just going back and forth. You have a little boost mechanic that you can do.
Yeah.
So the things are vulnerable. He goes, they're vulnerable. Hit it. So I go, tow cables initiated. This little mini game happens. There are 4 dots. Okay,
Whoa.
This is awesome. There's 4 dots and a meter, and with each dot that you do, the meter shrinks. You have to hold the right stick steady in the middle.
Cool.
So you're going around, and as people are shooting you, it's gyrating, and the meter's going up and down, and with each one, the meter is slower or lower, so your margin of error is less.
Yeah.
But the enemy team keeps shooting you like 100 times.
Yeah. They know what you're doing.
Breaks your tow cable.
Oh.
So I tried like 3 tow cables. Like the third one, get down to the last dot. I'm like, this is it. I'm bringing this thing down. match ends.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
We lose. I was so sad. The guy was like, "You almost had it. You were so close." And that was it. Biggest unfortunate thing, there was no Luke Skywalker, no Darth Vader prowling the map. There were no Jedis or Sith anywhere. No heroes, no Boba Fett.
Here at E3, or they just didn't show up in this particular match?
Yeah, they do not show up at all, I guess. They were disabled.
Got it.
I would have given almost anything to be in that room to hear, how do I bring it
How
down?
do I bring it down?
It's vulnerable. Hit it.
So jazzed up.
You know what's crazy to me about this game is Battlefront never looked good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was always like it compensated for how big it was by like looking okay. This looks so good.
This looks incredible. Even the
Yes.
hallway on Hoth was like, whoa.
The sound,
Like,
the
when we
sound
first
is
saw
a
it.
joke. Battlefield always gets praised on its looks. Battlefield 3 and 4 have, in my opinion, like Last of Us style, the best possible sound design ever in a video game is Battlefield. When you put on your headphones, you are transported into the battle all around you. You combine that with these iconic noises, it
All straight
felt
from the archives.
Like you were in Star
that-
Wars. You were living Star Wars.
And again, like just something to point out, like the accuracy and like how much work that they've put into this. Like, I'll praise Disney Infinity. I love that game. But like when that first trailer came out and Han's like running on the Tauntaun, it was like, "Pew!" It was like, what was that? I don't know. Like that was like that was some sound effect that Disney was just like, that laser blast, whatever. And like these guys are like you see the documentaries, they got like the Stormtrooper helmets. I mean, that's even why at the press conference they like, we got to show you that Stormtrooper helmet again. This is in game. We can't believe it.
Yeah.
Because they're so happy to have all these resources, like the interiors of the TIE fighters, like all the sound effects.
So
Crazy.
the guns too. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I have a burning question.
Yeah.
I've had it since you started this.
Yes.
So, whenever games do, you can switch between third person and first person.
That's funny.
One of them is compromised. Like, one of them is just straight up not as good.
Yeah.
Do you feel it? Did they get it? Did they nail it?
So glad Chris Wynn was there. Chris Wynn was like, I want to play first person, but third person is OP. You can see around corners, Third person, you have way more awareness, but when you zoom in, it's a little different. I know they zoom in some of these trailers in both third person and first. When you're in vertical, you have more of a reticle, more precision, I feel like, in first person, but more visibility in third. So I was kind of switching back and forth. Down on the D-pad switches sides. You can do left or right, and you hold it, and it goes into first or third. You just keep.
Not to
switching
mention
back.
immersion, first person. You're there. You are that.
That's
You
why
are
I
that
did- yeah.
stormtrooper. You are that
100%
rebel
that.
soldier.
Did you?
So they both felt well. They both felt great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my question.
But I mean, it's really hard to tell. I mean, I only played for 30-ish minutes. It's hard to tell if one of them will be OP. I mean, clearly third person you see way more, but first person, zooming in, you have the scope.
How long was your match to wrap things up? Final question.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Whoa.
20 minutes.
20 on 20 for 20
marathon
minutes.
Battle.
I'm doing it. That's like the first thing I'm going. I don't care what my first appointment is tomorrow. I'm going
Doors
straight over
open.
there, checking
Run
this
over
out.
there.
Go.
And it was your job. I'm grateful for you for checking this out, but you also suck, Huber.
I'm sorry.
But thank you for reporting, man.
Darth
I can't
Maul
wait.
and Battlefront Jones just
had a
digging
good- you had a good
the
Star Wars
knife
day.
deep in your belly.
Yep. But hopefully I will come back tomorrow and be like, Huber's right. It's awesome. Thanks, Hubes.
Yeah.